Be careful out there on the rocks.
Finally!
I don't know what kind of... Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crazy for Fishing SA. My name is Johan. I'm going to target some galjoen today. I've got my braid on here, and I've got my little knot and a little leader line. And then all I'm gonna do, I've got a short little sinker line over here. I'm gonna put that first on my leader line. Then I'm gonna take a little bead, and then I'm gonna take my hook line, which got a swivel on. Man, the sun is hot today. Anyway, I've got a little spot here, so that's it. As you can see, here's my hook. Anyway, I'm scratching out little holes here because I actually arrived on low tide, and the plan is to wait till the tide pushes. But the reason for low tide, the reason why I came at low tide, is because I want to see where all the holes is. Now there's a little hole there. I'm not even going to throw far, and I'm going to see if there's anything in there. I'm using some white mussel today. Let's see what's in this hole. Let's see what's in this hole. I'm not using a big hook. Galjoen's mouth is small. I'm not talking about that 60 centimeter galjoen. That's much bigger than the normal 35 centimeter galjoen. And 35 centimeters is a legal size galjoen. 2 per person per day. And normally I just hide the hook because these galjoen are pretty clever, and that's it. Let's throw in and see what happens. Yeah, and I'm fishing with my little Akuma 6000. Well, first throw, no fish. Man, it is low. I haven't seen this little location as low as this. But let's put on some new bait. I see there's a little spot there as well. I'm gonna try that out. That's the thing, we need to scratch around. Scratch around. And normally we just put on the footage. We catch the fish. But yeah, bear with me and let's see how long it takes to catch a fish. Some new bait on here. White mussel, still white mussel. Put it in my little container. Alrighty, let's go and scratch around. Scratch around. It is low, low, low. That spot where I were now, that little spot that I made that video of Reno catching that galjoen. So, but I think it's a bit too low. Water still needs to push a bit. But let's see what's going on here. Normally, you know, everybody is coming fishes from the beach here, But I do love it to scratch around on low tide and to find those little holes. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on. Can't seem to find any shop here by us. It's got some freshly white mussel. I'm struggling to get some white mussel. Let me get into the water, yeah. Normally this whole place is full of water. It's underwater. You can see where the Galjoen will most definitely come in hunt here when it's high tide. But now it's low tide. Don't know what's gonna happen. But I see there's a little spot there. We're gonna throw in and see what happens. Maybe we'll find a weight or two. You can actually see where those two birds are sitting, those dry points. The water still needs to push until that point. And you can see the water line there. So this is low tide. Yeah, we never say no to the low, because you'll never know where the fish is gonna show. We need to scratch around. Man, if I do, you know, decide to go and fish on a certain location, then I do love to inspect it when it's low tide. Then at least you know where to throw, you know, where's the rocky areas, where's the structure, where's big structure. You can just throw next to the big structure. You know, I'm not there's a lot of clever people out there. I'm not one of them, but if you do scratch around, you do learn a couple of stuff, you know. So yeah, it's not about getting to the water and throwing a line. You need to do a little bit of homework as well. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm pretty excited. I've got a good feeling of today. And if we do catch a fish today, it's gonna be a catch and cook. So I'm gonna hunt for the whole day. I'm gonna hunt Galjoen and see if we can get a sizer. I'm just showing you, you know, everybody out there, what is it all about, scratching around and finding a decent fish. You know, you with your little rod and your line, your hook and everything, the trace you decide to make, and you just throw it in. And if you catch that Galjoen, that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm going on. Now I've caught a couple of Galjoen in my life, but I always make a big story out of it, because, you know, I do scratch around. I do work for that fish, and it's just, you know, it's just a good feeling if you do get that fish out, that you know, you've actually scratched for that little sweet spot to catch that Galjoen. So yeah, let's see what happens. An hour into fishing. Just looking for that little poopy part that I have here. Yes, I'm just gonna tangle this with the other bait, with the other white mussel. I think the more poopy parts the better, that I always say. Like I always say, the poopier the better. Alrighty. You guys need to be careful here on the rocks. Took a little bit of meat out there. Ah. Actually took a little bit of meat there. Anyway, be careful out there on the rocks. Mama! Righty, no fish yet. So let's try another one, another spot. Maybe we'll get a couple of sinkers here. Because everybody loves to lose sinkers. Starting to burn. That's part of fishing. Can you believe it? When the tide pushes, then that galjoen is all over here. Scratching, like we are scratching for them. So are they also scratching for food. Scratching for food. But they are in those little holes, waiting for that tide to push to bring them to this side. Because obviously you won't see a galjoen swim here now. But out of those little holes there, they're waiting for the tide to push to come up here to feed. And why would they say no to a sweet and a sweet and a poopy little white mussel just floating around there? They will take your bait and then you catch your galjoen. For those who don't know, galjoen is South Africa's national fish. Needs to be 35 centimeters to keep. Alrighty then. Be legal out there. You do need your fishing license and your bait license as well. And then you can come and enjoy yourself. Scratch these little holes for fish. Anyway, I'll see you at the new little spots. And look at this little guy that I found here. Crazy little sea star. Huh. Man, it's just crazy, this ocean life. There's two, there's one. There's one. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this little creature. Back into the water. Hey. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know what kind of fish this is. Looks like a small little eel. Wow. Let's put him back into the water. A little bit of salt water and we are all good. Alrighty, got some poopy parts on here. Make another throw and see what happens. Alrighty, finished scratching around. Now I realize I've actually forgot my sommies, my lunch. So I'm just gonna go back to the car again. Because I'm starting to get a bit hungry now. We need to eat. Oh, that's almost 2 hours here at the ocean. Well, it's starting to push now, so doesn't matter. But we've tried on low tide now, but still probably about 3 hours before high tide, then there will be some action. But yeah, it does take time. It does take time. I'm just going back to the car again. Just going to go and fetch my sommies, my bread, so we can have some power for that galjoen. Hopefully we'll get a sizer, because we're planning, like I've said, I'm planning on catching a sizer and do a catch and cook. Anywho, I'll see you in just a bit. Okay, almost at the car. Alrighty, on the way back again. I've got my sommies. I'm not gonna get hungry. On my way back, I actually found a couple of crabs. So while I'm going to enjoy my sommie, my bread, my lunch, I think I'm gonna rig this up and let it lay a bit. Small little crab. Maybe there's some steenbras here laying around. Do they eat these little crabs? I don't know. What I do know is I caught a big steenbras once, and when I opened up its stomach, it actually had a small little crab inside. So I'm just gonna rig this up and let it lay and see what happens while I'm enjoying my breakfast, while I'm enjoying my food. Already, I've got a small little crab on here. Now I'm gonna have a bit of a lunch. Ugh. I do put this in here, otherwise my bread messes around and it's just a mess. You see, I've actually made this by myself. I've actually made this myself. Nice little eggy sandwich. Look at this funny little snail without a shell. Crazy. There's another one there without a shell. Well, the crabby didn't work. I finished having my lunch break. I'm finished having my lunch, and this was laying the whole time and it didn't work, so I'm gonna put on some white mussel now. Alrighty, changed it up to white mussel. Let's see what happens. Immediately I'm getting some bites. on, boys, fish on. Finally I've got a fish on. Man, 3 hours later, there's a small little galjoen. Way too small. Sure, but it moves. Small little galjoen. Just give it some freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Let's try again. Took me almost the whole day. All day to catch a small one. Water is starting to push now. Now the bite is getting on. We just need a sizer for the catch and cook. Alrighty. Did not like that throw.